But first, without further ado, would you welcome, please, our first guest of the evening, European Tour and Ryder Cup player, and now, of course, a commentator with Sky Television. Would you give a big Ardglass welcome to Andrew Coltart?
Hello there.
Welcome,
Thanks very much, Gerry. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
That's very cool. And would you please welcome back to Ardglass, one of our honorary members, 3 times winner on the PGA Tour and the 2002 US PGA champion, the fabulous Rich Beem. Welcome
Thanks,
back.
sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's okay, Andrew.
Wait a minute, you look after me? You cut in for me?
They drink beer around here, so it's okay, Parks.
Andrew, what has he told you about Ardglass?
I've been let into a little secret about Ardglass because I happen to play for a little team of villages in Aberlady who took on some members from Ardglass several years ago down in Spain, and we managed to win that, of course, you know. And so I'm worrying about what kind of reception I'm going to receive this evening. But no, he has told me great things about Ardglass. The members have told me great things about Ardglass. It's an absolute delight to be here tonight. I'm gutted I don't have my clubs, but if you saw me play, you'd understand why. And it's just delighted to be here.
Rich, what's the attraction of this club for you? Because you're such a good friend to us.
Every town I go to, doesn't matter where, everybody asks me, what's your favorite golf course in the world to play? And a lot of people assume that it's one of the greats. Augusta National usually is what they expect to hear. And for me, playing golf at golf courses around the world, it's not about the golf course itself per se. It's about everything that goes on around it. It's about the camaraderie. The golf course is important, but it's not the end-all be-all. It's what you do afterwards. It's the reception from the other members. It's just about the experience for me. And I'll never forget it. Andrew and I were talking on the way here. He goes, "How did this ever come about?" And I just said, I got a tweet in 2015, 20 minutes away, Royal County Net. Here's Ardglass. You want to come and play? Absolutely. And now you guys have a beer cart, so you're welcome. So this part of it is just, Paul Vaughn. Paul's not in the room right now, but he's a huge reason why I am such a huge fan. You are so fortunate to have a gentleman who's as passionate about this club as you are. He wants to make it work. I look at Paul and I see my dad. I truly do. I remember my dad as a kid, not that way, but I see him. The way that my dad was so passionate about the golf course that he was a head pro at, about working it, about trying to make the experience better each and every day for all of his members. So I just want to say hats off to Paul Vaughn for all that he does at Ardglass, and that's a big reason why I love this place.
You're just off the course. You're just off Portrush. What's the atmosphere up there like today?
Well, he walked the golf course, so I'll have you explain about the golf course a little bit.
It's fantastic that the players are out there doing their job, but the hospitality that they're receiving from all the people that are out there, marshals, spectators. There's an incredible buzz. Everybody's just so happy that we've got the Open Championship here in Northern Ireland after all this time. Just loving having the players over here. It's so warm, it's so welcoming. I don't want to say it's a festival atmosphere because it's a lot more serious than that. This is the biggest event in the world, and just everybody is just so delighted that it's here. And there's an incredible electricity buzz just when you wander around the whole place. It's fantastic.
We'll obviously talk a lot more about the Open very shortly, but we have another special guest tonight, and I know we're all dying to see him. He's just performed heroics over the past 3 or 4 months, or 3 or 4 weeks. Would you please welcome back to his home club, the fabulous Cormac Sharvin?
God bless you.
Nice shot. Yeah.
Pleased to be home?
Yeah, is this on, is it?
It is on, yeah, it should be on, or it will be on.
Yeah. It's been one heck of a day. Oh, I mean, anything that could go wrong today's went wrong.
Oh, today, has it?
My clubs haven't arrived. But
Listen.
I've got a backup.
If that's listen, if
Fine.
Get used to it.
Excuses already. This is for the big match tomorrow.
oh no,
Yeah.
Let me take you back to Lahinch. Let's talk about good things.
Okay.
That last round, how did you feel? Because all the pressure in the world was on you. Did you feel the pressure?
Yeah. Actually, I felt more pressure on Saturday. I kind of felt really relaxed on Sunday. I just got a little bit unlucky and missed it in the wrong spots a few times. But I felt like I made enough birdies to get myself into contention. I just made too many mistakes and got a little bit unlucky.
But I mean, you started on the Sunday morning. You had 2 bogeys the first 3 holes.
Yeah, I mean.
No, that's tough. That's tough. Did you think at any stage this is all going to go away from me?
No, like I putted it into the bunker on the 3rd
Yeah.
hole and got it up and down.
Yeah.
So it was actually a good bogey. So no, I kind of just was like the whole week. I just was really good at just sticking to one shot at a time. And if I made a few mistakes, I knew that I was playing well enough to give myself chances. And I mean, I went on a little run. I kind of could have nearly made 5 birdies in a row from 5 on. Missed a short putt on 8 for birdie and missed a good chance on 9. So I kind of just knew that the birdies were going to come, and they did. And then I made a couple more. I short-sided myself on 10, having 70 yards to the flag. And then I short-sided myself on 11, and then I kind of was up against the 8 ball, but managed to pull it back to level par.
How much did nerves play a part on the final day, or did they play a part?
Not really, no. I felt really comfortable all week. It wasn't like, I mean, I think a lot of the work I've done off the course was kind of prepping for me to be able to perform on a stage like that. So I kind of felt mostly really comfortable. As I said, I just got kind of the wrong side of a few greens and made a few mistakes.
But where you were, because we were thinking at the time that you could finish in the top 10, this could be your ticket into the Open. Were you aware of that as well, and were you playing for that?
No, not at all. I was kind of just, a lot of the work I've done is just like sticking to my process and kind of taking the next shot as a total new thing, and like with fresh eyes, as I would call it. I kind of felt like I'd done that really well. Obviously, it added up to 70 on Sunday, not a 66 or 67, but I kind of felt like I was kind of in control in that sense.
Fabulous. You were in France this weekend. You finished 5th in France.
Yeah.
Your best finish to date as well?
No. Give me a break, Jerry.
So you finished 5th in France this weekend. Now, that wasn't your best finish.
Probably the best I could have finished, to be honest. But
So you're now 7th in the rankings.
yeah,
What happens next?
I have 2 weeks off now, which I feel like I really need. To be honest, the last week in France was, for me, more impressive than the Irish Open, because I kind of had to come down from the hype of the Irish Open and go and play a challenge tour in the middle of nowhere in France and try and compete. And the first 2 rounds were so difficult. I just felt like you go from playing in front of thousands to playing in front of no one, and it's like, God, I felt like I was playing.
that's right up Andrew's alley. I tell you what, he's spectacular with nobody watches him.
That's 10 minutes. It started early, okay.
But what do you have to finish at the end of the year to get the big card?
Top 15.
Top 15. And how many more tournaments are left before that happens?
I'd actually
Is the
don't
whole
know.
of the summer still to go?
Yeah, I'd say I'll probably play 10, 11 more events. I don't know. Actually, I haven't really looked at
But
it.
you're confident. You're confident.
Yeah, I'd like to think that I'll have my card next
We
year.
would all like to think that. We would all. Rich, you were there. You were there at Lahinch. You stayed back and you met him off the 18th at Lahinch.
I did.
And
You know better. You're supposed to ask a question. I'm kidding.
Hold on. I'm good at this.
No.
Did you meet him off the 18th at Lahinch?
Yeah. So
Right, there you go.
Okay. No. I knew he was playing well. In fact, Paul came down 2 times during the week, and I love watching the young players come up through the ranks, and I don't get a chance to see too many kids on the PGA Tour or Web.com. Well, Corn Ferry.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
that's a bad name. Oh no, the Corn Ferry Tour, which is now the level below the PGA Tour. We don't get a lot of young players that I know, either from UT Golf Club, which is where I'm a member at in Texas, that I have a connection with. And to be fair, I don't have a huge connection either, but once again, as my statement went earlier, it's the connection with Ardglass. And so it's a small world. And so I felt, I want to be there on the 18th green when you walk off. I just want to let you know that, what you did that week, you were the low Irishman. And we're talking Harrington, 3-time major champion. Shane Lowry, winner this year already on the European Tour, also a WGC winner. You beat all of them. All of them. So what I wanted to say was, listen, Sunday may not have gone the way that you wanted it to, maybe the way that you expected it to, but that's, as you well know, the game of golf throws you so many different curveballs. Recognize the good things you did, the fun things. Oh, God, I love this world.
I'm an athlete, no?
Actually, I couldn't have a garage. Goodness me.
But I wanted you to recognize the great things you did, the fun things you did, because you can always talk about you said you made a great bogey on the 3rd hole by putting it in the bunker, but that happens.
Yeah.
Golf happens, but I wanted you to know that, tell you what, that was impressive stuff, what you did. To come back 2 bogeys in the first 3 holes on Sunday, that could really demoralize players, especially young players that are still in their learning process, that are easily influenced in one way or the other. I will make a suggestion, though.
You'll have to listen to it. I don't.
Trust me, I agree. When you get out there on Sunday, look at leaderboards, look at everything you can, and if you're feeling calm a little bit, try and make yourself nervous a little bit, because I think you'll perform a little bit better when you think that you need an edge instead of just, you don't want to be too comfortable.
Yeah, like comfortable being. Yeah, I mean, I was nervous for 72 holes. Like.
And I get it.
But I was comfortable being nervous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like he's comfortable in his own skin.
It's natural. I mean, I think that's the thing. I think I don't know what it's like for you, but long time ago when we were golfing, that kind of thing. It was almost like a physical disability. It was like you're not allowed to feel that. It was like a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
Now it's like, no, you've got to embrace that. You've got to enjoy being that, because that's just normal.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, then and you realise it's okay to feel like that, then it just helps you deal with the odd little bumps that you're going to have along the road, and you're a human being, you're going to make mistakes, but it just makes it easier to hit the next shot a lot closer.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I've really brought into my practice. I've started working with the performance coach, a guy in Cork, Ed Coughlin, and my practice is all putting myself under pressure in my practice. Good. That's all it is. That's the basis of my practice, and it's probably what has made me step it up a level this year from the work
under pressure.
Performing under pressure.
You got it.
So being comfortable being under pressure.
It's interesting because that's how things have changed. Because I mean, about 50 years ago when he was playing, it was just standing in the range, beating balls. The old story was till your hands bleed. But that doesn't really. That doesn't do anything. You might groove your swing, but it doesn't train you to deal with certain situations. putting yourself under the pressure situation that happened to Tiger, you know, with his father, he put Tiger under incredible stressful situations to see what he could come up with.
Yeah.
And that's how your game's going to develop and get better.
Yeah.
You're all very generous now, Andrew. There was a time when the Palmer Cup was being played for when he was at college. You didn't pick him for the team.
That's correct, yes.
Oh, damn, it just got fun.
Jerry, my arse has just twitched on this.
Oh, no. Put it down, answer.
I love another sip while I think about how I'm going to answer this one.
We're waiting.
That's very observant of you, Jerry, yeah.
To be fair, it was a pretty good team.
Thank you very much. You just got me out of that one.
No, no.
Yeah, we did win. But we were lucky. It's a fantastic event. It's a tremendous event. And there was they all sort of sit on the fence. An awful lot of excellent talent that was out there that we could have
You can
picked
stop
from.
digging any time.
Yeah, okay, right. Carry on with the next question.
Stop digging. It's in the past. Talking of congratulating people, one must congratulate you on your performance in the PGA this year.
Oh, yes, thank you. And I have to say, in all reality, I am just as shocked as all y'all. In fact, two things happened right afterwards made me giggle beyond reality. Well, the first one wasn't really giggling. It was
Check
because,
for the first time for a while.
well, you know that. I mean, making a cut, holy guacamole. What am I doing out there for 72 holes? That after I got done playing, signed my scorecard, and one of the first people I see outside of the scorer trailer is our boss. And he knows full well that I will not be in the commentary booth for the expected hours that he wanted me in there. And so he kept telling me, oh, he's so happy for me, he's so proud of me, but I'm thinking, you are lying. But the funniest one was, I called my wife finally after, I think it's probably about close to an hour after I got done playing. And I'm just going to apologize right now, but I think y'all got a good sense of humor. But I called her up, and she was on the road, and the first words of her mouth was, holy shit! I go, sweetie, I feel the same exact way. So it's unexpected in my world. I try and practice and play as best I can, but nothing comes even close to doing what he does on a daily basis. I can't even go there.
You must have been rolling back the years. You shot 5 birdies in the last 6 holes on the second day. Did you get was the buzz there again?
Well, the buzz was there again, but it's so unexpected that it's almost shock that this is going on, and that's the reality of it. Is as much as I enjoy playing this game, as much as I bring my clubs with me, I try and play as much as I can when I'm on the road, because I am turning 50 shortly. But the game is, when you have to write
Are you looking for a compliment now?
No. When you have to write a number in a box, it's different. Like, he never wants to keep score ever again. And I guarantee you it's because it's the fear factor. Is it not? And it's just the fear factor. You stand on the tee box, and they call your name, and you're like, this is real. This is what we used to do for a living. And it's not the same anymore. It's completely different. I do love it. I love getting out there, but I am scared to tears when I tee it up at the PGA every single year.
How many more years are you exempt? Is it?
I'm exempt for, they say, for all intents and purposes, lifetime, but I won't play the PGA much past, I want to say 55, if even that, just because the golf courses are getting longer. And the only reason I would actually go back to a golf course and play later on my years is if there's a historical or significant reason why. But this is certainly a young athlete's game these days. I mean, look at this. He's an athlete. He is kind of an athlete.
I'll have another drink.
But he just doesn't like to
Andrew, why
golf.
did you give the game up?
Economic reasons. I was missing too many putts on a Friday afternoon. And I had to phone the wife and say, sorry, that's more of our money I've just put down the drain. That didn't go down too well. No, and week after week after week, it was the same conversation. And it gets quite tricky after a while, Jerry. And the funny thing is, people kept on saying, I can't remember where you came from, though. You can do it, you can do it. All that did was just highlight how far I'd fallen. and just made that dark cloud even slightly darker. So it's difficult because people who play it as a hobby, it is the best game in the world. It's a lot of fun. It brings so many people from so many different walks of life together. But when you do it as a job, it's great. It's great at Cormac's time of life. It's going like this, and it's absolutely fantastic. And the graph, for all intents and purposes, is going up, let's say. But then it goes like that. And if you have a long career, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. If you're lucky enough, it comes back up again. And if you're not, it tends to go that way. And when it goes that way, it's quite public, and it's tough to deal with.
But I've also read where you said that getting to the top in golf requires more than just talent. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's ingredients to the whole pie, if you like, of just you can be talented, but if you don't apply that talent, then it's going to be worthless. But there's the whole thing, you've got to be comfortable in your environment. You've got to have been able to fit in, acclimatise to your environment.
One thing too, you have to be selfish. You have to be selfish.
Yeah, very much so.
In this day and age, I think you have to be selfish almost 24/7. I think it's fairly remarkable how social media has affected, I think, everybody in any environment a little bit. And my son, who's 16, it's social media is his world. So it didn't have that back in the day, but I think even these days, you have to be selfish. You have to keep everybody out of your world that doesn't need to be in your world. And for the younger generation, that means social media has got to take a back seat in my mind. However, there's a couple guys that are pretty successful at doing it, but you have to be selfish, I think.
There's other things. I think, when somebody like, and feel free to butt in here, by the way, but somebody like Cormac's age, I don't mean that because you're not. Cormac's age, you're playing a lot of team when you were going up through the international ranks, you're playing a lot of team, and people are organising all that for you. Then you turn professional, and it's like, there you go, you're off on your own now. You might have an agent, which is great, but you're travelling to places, and you might know the odd person, but don't know a bunch of people, it's very difficult. You can feel like immediately from feeling like a big fish in a small pond, you feel like a small fish in a massive pond. And they're all sharks that are out there, and they don't care a hoot about you, and they don't care what your situation is. They're just going to hit you over the back of the head and try and beat you up as much as possible. So you've got to try and bully yourself into a situation where you can start to establish yourself and create a platform where you now get a sense of control, and you then develop a team round about you, and then you start to grow. So it's all very well having the talent. There's loads and loads of kids in all sports that have loads and loads of talent, but the talent always doesn't come to the top because there's loads of obstacles in the way.
Do you feel any sense of what he's talking about?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I remember my first year as a pro going to China on my own and getting into a taxi that wasn't a taxi, who drove me God knows where, 2 hours. It should have been 20 minutes in a taxi, charged me far too much, and I remember being afraid for my life, and I'm like, God, do I actually want to do this? What am I doing in China? Why did I even come here? I'm trying to do a pre-qualifier for Shenzhen. I'm like, God. But yeah, going back to what you said as well, I think when you're an amateur, you're obviously one of the best players there, and I just think self-belief is just huge. I mean, I know for me, it's something I've really worked on in the last 6 months, is really just driving in my self-belief that I'm good enough and I can compete with these guys. And I think that's something that's huge. I think a lot of the guys here, you see a lot of guys who are good amateurs and they come out to play pro golf, and obviously, as you said, you have to organise your own stuff, you go to weird places. I just think a lot of it is down to self-belief and people not believing in their own abilities, and I think I think it's really important to believe in your own abilities if you want to. Because if you don't have any self-belief, I mean, your mind's going to self-organize.
And that's not been cocky. That's been
there's a difference between, like, obviously you can believe in yourself and you don't need to be arrogant about it. There's people who are arrogant about it, but you can really believe in yourself, and you can tell the team around. I think you should have a team around you so that you can vent your self-belief, not vent it like on social media, for instance.
Yeah, I just want to expand on that because it's very interesting what you said about having to go to China and do it all on your own and not sure you want to do this. We see a couple of amateurs that just came out, Matthew Wolf, Victor Hovland. These kids are multimillionaires already, okay? So they've got a leg up on the competition. This young man is going out there saying, you know what, I got to prove myself the entire way. And that takes more guts than getting handed massive amounts of checks, endorsements, things like that. Creating your own way to go is, I think, at the end of the day, going to pay way more dividends, because no matter what happens, no matter what you accomplish, no matter what tournaments you win, whatever the loftiest goal, you started with nothing. And these guys, as good as they are, and yes, they deserve some of the accolades, but you know what? It's not a fair fight in a lot of ways, because you didn't get the 7 exemptions on the PGA Tour. You don't get this. You don't have a golden parachute to fall on.
I think that's something as well. I think the European Tour and the Challenge Tour in general really support American players coming to Europe, but the PGA Tour and the Web.com do not support Europeans coming.
The Americans are nice.
We'll take a short break. We'll back in a moment or two.
Oh, no, just kidding. No.
So he's getting very heavy over there now.
That's a very good point here, Jerry. I think it's something we can elaborate on. You guys are rubbish at that.
No, listen.
Keep it for yourselves.
Listen, I agree. I think PGA Tour, it's kill or be killed on the PGA Tour, and it's as ruthless as it gets. And when I was playing, I always expected the tour to kind of watch out for us a little bit more, and they do in a lot of ways. But at the end of the day, the motto shouldn't be these guys are good or live under par. It should be play better, because that's exactly what they tell you. And listen, we'd love to help you out, but play better. As soon as you get it more established, you'll be okay.
Jerry, I just wanted to say that one of the things about the self-talk, I think that Corvin's talking about is that Cormac's talking about is that we're all familiar when you get to the top of the backswing and that little voice shouts at you and it says you're going to top this or you're going to shank it. There's folk watching over there, and whatever you do, don't duff it. Yeah.
I ain't leaving, lads.
Yeah. Don't listen. Don't listen.
Dude,
don't listen. See, that's the problem. See, I didn't learn.
Who's living in there? Who's living in there, man? Come on.
If you don't have a mechanism for dealing with that, then it's like the dripping tap on the rock, and eventually it's just a splash of water, but eventually that rock's going to crack. So you've got to attack that now, and you've got to do exactly what you're saying, and take it that way, and not allow those things to come in. Again, they're perfectly natural, but you have to have that mechanism to deflect them.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of the great people have. They never look at the negatives; they always look at the positives. Some of them carry on with this kind of arrogance. And it comes across as arrogance, and one or two of them are arrogant, but a lot of them, what the very, very successful ones have is that they don't pay any attention to that nippy little voice at the back of your head, just chewing away at your self-confidence.
Let's get back to 1999 then.
What was that? What happened to that?
The Ryder Cup in 1999, the famous one, the Battle of Brookline. You were involved in that?
Oh, briefly, yeah.
Tiger beat you?
Listen, I'm going to stay out of this one.
No, I want you in here in a minute or two.
No, I'm going to stay out of this one.
Why? Was it a shameful day? Was it a shameful day on American golf?
You ask your question.
He wasn't there.
You're right. you're
Looking back on it, Andrew. Looking back on it.
Yeah.
Was it a shameful day in American golf history?
Looking back on it,
be truthful.
No, it's taken me 20 years. No, look, the Ryder Cup was going through a massive transition, I think, at that time. It was going from just an event between two continents to actually a global event that it has turned into now. It's just massive. It's so huge. And I try and find reasons to defend, the behaviour of some of. But no, I think I put it down to pressure. It's just pressure. It's just pressure. The American team, the European team, was a team over in America with 7 rookies. If you said now a team's going out there to play against the Americans with 7 rookies, you're going to get annihilated. We had a 4-point lead going out into the singles on the last day, at which point I point out I haven't played and contributed to that 4-point lead. But nonetheless, all the work I was doing.
But you're a great team player, buddy.
It was behind the scenes, just making sure everybody was all right and tuning them up. And it was working. I thought I was doing a fantastic job. And it bubbled up to what it is, but the pressure right at the top of the amateur game in whatever it is that we do is enormous under the scrutiny of the world, and I can kind of sort of understand how it bubbled over at the time, but it can get quite almost kind of feral in a way, from the point that it's not always, because it is a global sporting event. It's not always golf fans that are going to it as well.
I'm going to ask you a question, but also try and expand on that, Andrew. Is this thing still on?
Yeah, you're still on.
Okay.
Somebody's not.
How much has the media hype kind of added to this? Because we're getting shelled as of late, which totally America's gotten shelled, but we take the brunt of it all. But 1991, I remember this, War by the Shore. Really? The War by the Shore? It is me. Is it me?
Maybe you.
Anyways, the War by the Shore. So it was the War by the Shore back in 1991.
Well, that's worse, they can hear you now. Put it back on.
I tell you what, I love going to work with this man right here. He brings me down to his level. But I think 1991, the War by the Shore, I think that kind of set a different precedent for the Ryder Cup. And over the years, it's gotten ugly. And I was actually really embarrassed. In 2016, it was my first ever Ryder Cup I'd been to, and it was held at the golf course greatest moment of my golfing career at Hazeltine, and there's just some absolute obnoxious idiots out there yelling vulgar things at inappropriate time. I mean, it's just not right, and a lot of it is corporate guests who don't get it, but I don't know. I find the Ryder Cup to be, it's not everything that I cracked up to be. I thought that it would be a lot more team atmosphere, team friendly. Not that I've been in a team room, but I just don't. Jesus.
Based on what experience you haven't said, John, about you?
What do you think Bethpage is going to be like?
Awful. Listen, I wish that I hope it gets rained out.
Yeah, but that's because it's transcended. That's because it's no longer golf fans. It's gone. It's a global.
Yeah.
But it's gone on both sides too. I mean, even in France, it was ugly things were said from fans. I mean, and New Yorkers, forget about it.
But you know what? The other thing is though, particularly when you go away to play away from home, is you've got to expect that stuff. It's all part and parcel. It's all part and parcel of that.
Yeah,
it's not the daily grind of week to week when you play. But this is a Ryder Cup. You're going to their home, and you're desperate to try and either wrestle that thing back or keep hold of it. And half the fans are going to hate you for it, and you got to expect that stuff. And tell you what, if the guys don't expect it at Bethpage, they're going to be in a mess.
Yeah.
I guess my biggest fear as an American is something being said in the middle of swings where it is a crucial.
Happens. Yeah, it happens.
But In New York? Yeah, no. I'm
Yeah, how did you
It
police
even happened
it?
in the PGA this year with them shouting
Yeah, it
DJ
should be a little bit,
when
but it's
Koch goes
different
down the
though. It's
stretch.
different because it's an individual, because everybody's going to be pro-America.
Yeah.
And Europe is just going to get, I mean, some of the hateful things, even at Hazeltine, which is just a nice, gentle sheep laying in a manger with a star above it somewhere, maybe. Kind of golf course.
That's what I've got to deal with on a weekly basis.
All right, we'll move off that. How much of the pair are you enjoying working with Sky Television? Because you do seem...
Depends who you're with, Jerry.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I was about to ask. I was about to ask.
it goes on a weekly basis. The last 2 weeks have been miserable.
Tough. What's the schedule when you're, when you come to for example, the Open this week? What are your individual rules throughout the week?
He sits on his backside and talks a lot and doesn't really venture out of a little box, gets served tea, coffee, biscuits all the time. I've got to venture around the whole links about 2 or 3 times. Nobody's coming to give me a sandwich or a biscuit or anything like that. Yeah, it's a nightmare. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Have you ever heard of...
Nobody looks after me. No,
You know something,
I carry a pack, by the way.
They even give Mark Rowe a biscuit.
Yeah, they give Richard Boxall a biscuit.
It's more like a dog treat. Sorry,
I have a
that was
question,
very
Andy.
rude.
Yeah.
Would you prep for an Open as if you, would you prep, see the golf course as if you were maybe playing it? Obviously, because you have to...
Yeah, fair. I was out there today just trying to walk, because I'd never been to Royal Port Rush, so really
So did you walk out of bounds a lot?
So I was.
How thick was the rough?
That's fair. No, in all honesty, because there wasn't a lot of out of bounds. I did see a fence down the right hand side at 2 or 3, but I am looking at all the areas where you don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
Like, a bit like when you're out there playing your practice rounds. You go, okay, there's green zones, there's amber zones, and there's red zones. Where can I play? If I want to be aggressive, where can I play? Got to be defensive. Where's a good place to miss it? I've got to try and figure out where you're going to be hitting it, where you want to hit it, and all that kind of stuff. So yes, I do. It's not quite as intense as it is if you were playing, but you've still got to try and learn the golf course and try and understand how the guys are playing it.
I've got to make sure the cushion is just the right temperature.
I feel like commentators make everything seem so difficult. Is that something that
Well,
you
we're trying to relate it to the general golfing public, and also.
Because he's missed the green, it's short, it's difficult from here,
Yeah, well, a lot of those things are, but also, you're a professional, and you might make it look simple, but to the general public, it's not that easy, and we know that you're going to chip it stiff. But it's still, a tricky little shot. There's only 5 yards of green to work with. The wind's off the right-hand side. It's downwind, and by the way, these greens are quick. And my knees have gone. And when I see a tight lie like that, my knees start kicking in and going all things like that. So it's still tricky.
Yeah.
How much preparation can you put in, Rich?
For what?
This is going to be a good answer.
For commentary, when you're sitting, you and Murray are talking away. I mean, you have to react to what's happening in front of you.
I do. So, anything.
It's the phone number of the person's bringing him tea and biscuits.
I tell you what, anything that I say right now, he's going to contradict, so that's fine. It's all good. I will actually walk the golf course on Wednesday, just to see it, because I haven't seen it in this form as of yet. But what I have found over the years is when I really try and to dig into certain things, and Ewan Murray is got 4 of these tables full of notes of things he's written about every single player, and I look at it and I panic because it scares the bejesus out of me, and I'm looking at it because I can't decipher anything, what he's saying, what all the colors that he's got down there. What I've discovered over the last, I think it's my 5th year with Sky, I prepare like I would when I'm going to go out to play a round of golf. I take, all of my notes can be written right about there. I look at golf as
ever involving. You can't. Everybody says, I got a game plan.
Involving or evolving?
Revolving door?
Oh, revolving.
Evolving?
Sorry,
I don't know. You can have a game plan, and all of a sudden you go out on the first 3 holes and you decide to hit it like Phil Mickelson off the tee. Now what? You've got to change your game plan, don't you? Somehow, some way. And if you don't, guess what? You're not gonna play very well. So, for some odd reason, I'm not. Keep acting smart, Andrew. I don't know why I invited him.
Oh, sorry, just carry on.
I don't know why I invited him.
I was trying to be
I don't take notes. I literally just, if something I find interesting, I'll write it down maybe when it's happening, but I literally don't take any notes. I sit there and just react to what's going on, and I either build from previous experiences or I make something up.
Is it true? Is it true though that as you move from country to country, that Sky will give you guidelines on things that you can say and can't say?
Keep going.
Oh, Paul, did I share this one with you? Oh yeah, this is funny.
So what are the do's and don'ts
So just
of Northern Ireland?
so just give me a couple of seconds.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, by the way, I'm getting my.
Was your wife called again?
No. I was going to say something different. I'm not going to say it because that's going to not be good for anybody, especially me. No, there are ladies present. My son shot 76 today, his best round ever. He's 16 years old. Best ever round in a golf tournament, and highlighted by a hole-in-one. So I think we should all have a round of beer on him. I'm buying. I got to find the email from about what we can and cannot say. Do you remember this one?
Yeah, carry on.
No. Yeah, carry on. You say. Hold on for 1 second. Let me. Who's the?
Did you hear the one
Jerry,
about?
carry on with it.
Did
Yeah,
you hear the one
absolutely,
about?
Who's the?
This is all in front of you, Cormac. By the way.
Pardon?
It's all in front of you. This is all. In front of
Hopefully
you.
not.
This is what happens. This is what happens after 20 years of playing on tour.
Exactly. No.
Not
Social
great.
media. Who's the social media guy?
Oh, that narrows it down.
No, oh my gosh, you are worthless as tits in a bowl.
Who's the social media guy? Give us a clue.
For the Open or for...
No,
Yeah,
a good-
this
no,
is for the Open.
no,
This
a
is
good
so
idea.
we
No,
actually
these are the
have.
Open.
Do's and don'ts for the
Oh,
Open.
yes, and so.
What, you mean our social media guy for Sky?
Oh yeah.
Can't remember.
No. Okay, hold on. Give me. Ask
No,
Dummy a question.
I'm loving the silence. It's fantastic.
Whilst he's looking for that, Andrew,
Or Jerry.
you've been up at the course. Let's look at the Open coming up from the European point of view. Who do you reckon will be there or thereabouts come the weekend? Which Europeans should we be definitely looking out for?
Well, obviously, I mean, Wiesberger's just had a fantastic.
I found it.
Oh, great. Carry on.
That's called timing.
Oh, you were saying? Sorry.
Okay. We'll rewind. We'll hold that.
I know, it's fine.
No,
yeah,
no,
give me
no.
give me time to think.
Go to
Yeah.
Wiesberger first.
We let Wiesberger sit for a moment. What have you got? Because you'll lose it again.
No, I won't.
Right.
So this is from the Irish Tourism Board. I do believe. Let me just clarify. Yep, that's the one. And okay, that's. Oh my gosh! Please don't go. Please do not. Please don't make me go there. So this goes for clarity. Here's a list of quote major watchout. Are we recording this?
No.
That camera's got a red light on it. That means it's in fuego.
He's smoking.
Okay. Do not refer to stereotypes, especially for humoristic purpose, i.e. drinking culture, potato as the only source of food, and leprechauns. And leprechauns, yeah.
And leprechauns.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple of them that I will not try. Do not refer to.
No. Do you want a shovel?
Do not refer to Northern Ireland as a country. Do not use flags. Here's the one that I'm going to struggle with. No politics or political discussion. Reference to the political history. Current news. That's terrible. This one's funny. Avoid focusing too much on alcohol / excessive drinking. We also need to avoid the stereotypes such as stag and hen do's.
Yes, hen do's.
Hen do's in Ireland. What's okay? Enjoying the great crack on the 19th hole. Not okay. Falling down on the street. No, this is portrayal of excessive drinking. So this is weird. I don't understand this one. Appropriate trademark attribution must be used for screen tourism properties. Game of Thrones. What's that mean?
Read it again. Speak in English this time.
Appropriate trademark attribution must be used for screen tourism properties, meaning the Game of Thrones. Is Game of Thrones?
Probably
it's filmed all right here.
mention it, maybe?
Yeah, it's filmed all right here.
Anyways.
Don't understand. Don't mention it.
Let me think. The capital letters.
You like to mention green?
No, we can't remember. No, you can't do.
So what the hell are you going to
Do
call it?
not use the colors green or orange.
So what are they going to put on?
You can't use green or orange.
What are they going to put on? The putting area.
Where's it going?
They're brownish tint. I don't know. Do not refer to the 4 provinces of Ireland, i.e. Ulster, Leinster.
Leinster, yeah. Hold on, we hear the next two.
Munster.
And?
Munster. Munster used to caddy for me.
What's the last province?
Cannot.
Good effort.
Did I get it?
Yeah, good
No.
effort.
No. Connaught.
Huh?
Connaught.
Connaught.
Connaught. Not cannot.
I cannot tell you what I'm saying. Why do I get myself in these
I
pickles?
don't know. So, guys, we have that recorded. The tourist board will get that first thing in the morning. So,
Hey, listen, they sent it to us.
Andrew, you were
How about
saying?
that round of drinks with the for everybody for my son?
Yeah.
Andrew, you were saying?
Yeah, anything really. Just to talk about that. Yeah, basically, yes, we do get things. Not to say in certain places.
I was thinking about Wiesberger.
Oh, sorry. All right, beg your pardon. I forgot about that. Wiesberger. Matt Wallace, who's second. Obviously, I think we'd all like to see. I think we'd all like to see Rory obviously win here. I think that would be incredible. I hope he can. But this is massive. This is huge. I think he's fantastic in his interviews because he tells it as it is. There's far too many players out there that just give it the straight bat and give you a boring answer. Rory will put his emotions on his sleeve and he'll show them. And he knows that this potentially is a once in a lifetime opportunity to him. And thank you very much. That's perfect timing.
Free refills.
You've got to drink up now. I just hope that doesn't that doesn't hold him back. Clearly, he knows what to do around this golf course.
I think we're all absolutely delighted that GMAC made it. I think he deserved
no, absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. I think watching the television there when he had that putt across. Well, first of all, saw where he put the second shot over there, shot right. And then we went off to see somebody else, and then he chipped to about 30 feet across the green. You're just going, oh no, this is out. And then he hits this putt, and it goes in. And then his caddy just sort of pumps the air because he was all over it. He knew exactly what he had to do. And Graham had a rough idea, but he didn't want to admit that he knew where it was, and this thing went in, and he knew that he was going to be here. It meant so much to him. I think it means so much to everybody in the area that he's back here playing at at Royal Portrush in an Open Championship, and he brings with him quite a bit of form. Over the last couple of years, he hasn't maybe had as much form, but the confidence is starting to return. He's comfortable with his game, and if he can't put pressure on himself, if he can try and take that pressure off, which is difficult playing back at home, then who knows? He could certainly be coming down.
I think Rory takes that away from him, though.
Yeah, possibly. You think he's going under the radar?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all part of the tactics.
Yeah.
From an American point of view, Rich?
I think that I almost disagree. I think Graham wants the attention.
I think
Graham wants the attention, and I think that Rory wants to deflect it as best he can. But what I did love to hear from Rory was that this would be at the end of his career, if he would win the Open this week at Portrush, nothing else would touch it in his career. Doesn't matter whether it's the career Grand Slam, which he's only one tournament away, the Masters. This one would blow it all away. I just think that that's honesty, and I think that's exactly what we love about Rory. Is it's honest, and I think he's going to go down swinging. I really do. I think that Rory is going to put his best foot forward. I think it'll be down to what the conditions are like, Mother Nature-wise. Yeah. And I think it'll come down to a fairly critical putt at a critical time for Rory. I truly believe he'll be in the mix come Sunday evening.
And which of the Americans do you reckon is it best suited to?
The only one I'm going to say is Brooks Koepka, and just due to the simple fact that Ricky Elliott,
he knows the course. Yeah.
I truly believe that Brooks is going to go out there this week with one focus and one focus in mind, and that's going to be a totally selfless act. He wants to win it for Ricky. He doesn't.
Home win. It's a home win for them.
Yeah.
It's a home win. Yeah. If Brooks would win it, it's not for him. He's doing it for Ricky, and I think it would mean. I know they've won 4 majors together, and Ricky's been with him for a lot of. He's been with him for, about 6 years now?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I just think that I think Brooks is going to be focused for Ricky, and that's it.
Are you hoping that the weather deteriorates ever so slightly because they sort of pulled apart Scotland, didn't they?
I think we all want the weather to
it's a different proposition.
I think the weather
it's a step up. Obviously, it's a massive step up, obviously, in terms of the quality of the venue. There's no doubt about that. Because anything about the golf course, if there's any wind, trying to hold it on these greens is just a bit of a nightmare. Having the asset of Ricky Elliott on the bag is huge. This is his back garden. And when you consider how successful Koepka's been, and they've just pitched up at a venue not necessarily knowing what's in front of them. To have that asset on his bag this week is going to be massive. Round a golf course of this calibre, it's going to be absolutely perfect for Koepka.
I think Portrush is a course that you can't play from being out of position as well. It's like if you miss a fairway, you're not going to be able to get to a lot of the greens. A lot of the greens kind of sit up on you, so you can't really run it into a lot of the greens. So I think it's going to be. If you drive it good around there, it's gonna. Whoever drives it best is definitely gonna have the best chance.
Who's the biggest draw as you go around the world? Is it still Tiger?
By a massive margin. Absolutely. And as TV commentators, we get it on social media. Why are you showing Tiger? Why is it? Because everybody's out there watching him. If you look at all the crowds that are watching him, they're there, I would say, 60%.
Yeah.
Probably 60% of everybody that's in the gate on the course, they're following him. And so he draws the numbers. He's the biggest draw in the game by a wide margin.
Would Rory be next?
Rory would be next. Rory would be the only other person this week that will draw equal to Tiger. but this is the only venue that he can do it.
Wow.
This is the only venue that he will draw
Yeah,
equal with Tiger.
it's kind of weird. It's weird. He's a phenomenon. It really is. It's
You played against him. You played at the Ryder Cup,
Yeah. Thanks. Cheers. Yeah.
where they beat you 3-2.
Are you wearing
Yeah,
your-
thanks,
are
Gerry.
you wearing- what belt you got on tonight, by the way?
Not the one that you stitched me up with.
What's it like playing against them? What?
First time it's quite intimidating because there's an awful lot going on inside the ropes.
He's drawing it out. It's a losing proposition.
But he's all right to play with. I played with much worse, much more annoying.
You please tell the story
What?
on the first tee.
All right, so we're at Ryder Cup. Okay, it's a little bit deeper than that. I've not played for. I've been. Face it, I've been dropped from the morning foursomes, the afternoon foursomes first day, morning foursomes second day, afternoon 4 balls the second day. So finally I get my chance because he's got to play every 12 players in the singles, and I'm playing Tiger. So I think this is great. We've just had our first baby the week before, and I'm on the phone to my wife, and she's crying because the baby's not settling. She's got colic and she's getting upset, and my wife's not sleeping and all this kind of stuff. I'm playing Tiger Woods tomorrow, and I'm absolutely in a Ryder Cup, and I'm absolutely bricking myself. Move on, please. Move on. The baby will sort itself out. So I settled. I put the phone down gently. Thank God for that. I got away with that one. And I switched on Golf Channel, and the Golf Channel guys were going through the results, trying to figure out how America were going to win this. And Mark Lai comes to Coltart Woods. He goes, "This is fantastic." He says, "This is America 8-7." Mark Lai, what did you ever do in your career? So carry on.
Did you and Dean Robertson play with Tiger and
Yeah,
Duval?
we played in
Beat
Duval
them,
the World Cup.
You
Yeah,
beat them
that
time, right?
I'd like to think that we did. I'd like to think we did, but no, we didn't.
No.
They won it. No, they won it. It was in Japan.
Maybe on one day.
They won it in Japan. So fast forward, having not played the first 4 sessions, we walk onto the first tee, and I'm losing control of certain muscles, and I get announced, and it's like, I'm trying to hold my hand up, and I remember talking to myself, just keep waving, just keep waving, just keep waving, just keep waving, just keep waving. He's looking for a weakness. Keep waving. And okay, time to put it down, right? Put it down now. I get back to tee, and Tiger goes, he says, "You've not played this hole. It's a dog leg right to left par 4.
Did he actually?
Yeah, I did.
He actually said that?
Yeah, I did, yeah. So in true fashion, I managed to sort of get the ball on the tee eventually. I think I had to get down on both knees and actually sort of put it up there. Get to the top of the backswing, and the little voice says, "Whatever you do, don't top it." And I didn't. I went right underneath it and hit it about 150 yards. I'll say fairway.
I'm sure it was better than that.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. We halved it in 5s. Where am I going with this? And
You're even through one is where you're going.
Oh no, even through one. Yeah. Look, cut a long story short. Tiger beats me 3-2. And that's not the best of it because Tiger beats me 3-2, but then we all remember the kerfuffle, or the 80s when a Lathabal, 70th green when a Lathabal was still waiting to putt. Justin Leonard, who had holed this putt all the way up the green, the whole American team ran on the green with their wives, and everything went absolutely mental. I think actually myself and Jimenez probably actually trampled all over Jimenez's line, Lathabal's line, getting across the Americans, and tried to remonstrate with them. And Davis Love, the third, had the flag and was going like that. And he put it down, and just in front of me was Tiger hugging one of the wives of the American team. I don't know. I'm not saying anything. But he had his arms round one of the wives of the American team, and his backside was right in front of me, and I just thought, well, now's as good a chance as any. So I stuck my left foot up his backside and said, "Get off the bloody green, man! The game's still going on. Come on, get off."
You didn't.
Oh, I did.
Oh,
so
you did.
I did. So
Oh, we actually have a photo of it.
So fast forward. My mate Rich sets me up with this belt that has the 3-2 defeat to Tiger Woods, from that Ryder Cup, and Tiger Woods, "Hey, that was great. Yeah, I remember what I told you on the first one." So I showed him the picture. I said, "Listen," I said, "mate, the record books show that you beat me 3-2, but I've got a picture that says I kicked your ass in the Ryder Cup."
What a great story. What a great story. And yet you beat the man in 2002.
I did, but that was a hell of a story. I'm glad I set that up for that. That was actually, it was one thing that we enjoy about working with each other is that there are no holds barred. If you see a millimeter, turn it into a yard. That's exactly right. I did. I beat him in 2002.
Which was, do you get fed up with people?
He wasn't informed then, though.
Oh.
What? He was.
We have a lot of questions from the audience.
Let's do this.
Cormac, Jack Murphy, who's related to you. You think he would ask you this on the phone rather than coming in here?
I probably didn't text him
You
back.
probably answered this anyway. Well, you have answered. How did it feel to be the leading Irishman at the Irish Open?
Yeah, I mean,
Thanks.
yeah. Yeah, it was great. I mean, there wasn't too much competition that week. So.
How much money did you win?
€85,000.
Who asked that question?
What'd you buy?
Did you ask him?
He asked, no, just
Did you ask him that
Scotsman.
question?
Never asked that
Did
question.
you ask him how much money he won?
Yeah.
I bought a new pair of sunglasses.
Sweet. I need a new pair of sunglasses. Mine got nicked today.
Question to Rich. Michael Harrison. Why are professional caddies not permitted to use motorised trolleys?
Because they got to work for a living?
Because they get paid way too much.
Would you like me to repeat that? Right? Why are professional caddies not permitted to use motorised trolleys?
Professional caddies, because that would take away their professional status and reinstate them to amateur status caddies. I don't know. That is, who asked that question?
Him over there, look. He asked that question.
My caddy used the trolley.
Hey,
a couple of weeks ago.
bartender.
Your caddy used a motorised trolley.
My son's going to buy all the cocktails, but not for that dude.
Yeah.
He's had well enough, all right?
Rich from Fitz. You played Fitz.
I did. Where is Fit?
Oh,
Is
really?
Fitz here? He's not here.
Fitz is there. There's
Right,
the back there. There's
yeah.
down there. There's down there.
I hope you've recovered.
Mr. Rich, he doesn't want to ask you a question.
Oh, boy.
He says, how do you manage to play golf at the standard observed at Pebble Beach when you always seem to be on the road with Sky? Does that standard of play tempt you to play senior golf?
Well, my play at Pebble Beach at Monterey Peninsula Country Club was included with carts and beer. Now, at Bethpage, I was a little bit different because I didn't have any beer, but I had caddies. I made the cut of the PGA. I drag my golf clubs everywhere, and actually, I think I do it to annoy the boys a little bit. To be fair, I love this game. I can't get enough of it. If I didn't bring my golf clubs with me a lot of times, I don't know. I go stir crazy. I love getting out there. I love hitting golf balls. I still love the feel of striking it in the center of the club face as opposed to the center of the hosel. It's just, that's what I love to do. I can't get enough of it. It's strange. They think I'm really weird. Well, actually, they know I'm really weird. They know I'm really weird. That's all right.
Andrew, in your opinion, what's the best links course in Scotland?
the best links course in Scotland. It's well the best place to go and play St Andrews. There's no doubt about that. If you're a golf lover, you got to go to the home of golf. Best links golf course. I nearly said Turnberry, but that could have gone political. Avoid that
please
one.
don't.
No, I'm going to go on some other side. I'll go Muirfield.
Muirfield?
I'm going to go Carnoustie.
Portrush, the correct place to play the Open this year, because Royal County Down is always in the top 3 of the best golf courses in the world.
I've also not played Royal County Down, but I know one thing for sure is this golf course is absolutely up to the task of hosting the Open Championship. Yeah.
This
I
golf.
think Portrush is probably, in my opinion, one of the best second shot golf courses I've ever played. Every second shot is just in the small greens, runoffs. Some greens are in dunes. It's just really different. It's very diverse. I think that's what makes it really good.
What would you say, Rich?
This golf course is going to identify the golfer of the year. It's going to show who's the best of the best when it comes to every aspect of the game. No matter what Mother Nature throws at you, this golf course will expose any weaknesses you have.
How'd you know that?
I've played it before.
Oh, I thought you hadn't seen it. Oh, sorry, I thought you hadn't seen it. Sorry.
Have you played RCD, Rich?
I have. I played it with Paul.
And how do you compare the two?
Ooh.
Honestly, I think there's at least 3 weak holes at RCD. One of them is 17. The other one's 19 for sure.
We'll take a short break.
Why are you chuckling? Weird.
Because I think we may have somebody from RCD in the audience. Yes, I hope not. Rich, which golf course in the US PGA Tour is the truest test of golf? If you want to, Breen would like to know.
Apart from Hazeltine.
Apart from Hazeltine.
Nothing else then. Oh, jeez. Riviera. Riviera in LA is, I think, the truest test. There's, I don't even know if there's there's penalty areas now, but it's just, there it is right in front of you. The conditions are always, in my mind's eye, unbelievable. The greens can be a little bit goofy every now and again with the soft Poana, but from a ball striking standpoint, there's nothing truer test than Riviera.
And while you're at it, Andrew, who is the best golfer you ever played with and why? Brian McGee.
No, a Tiger. I'd never encountered anybody that compressed a golf ball or hit a golf ball like this. I played with him the last round of the Open Championship at Carnoustie in '99, and again, it was going like that. And going up the second hole, I just thought, I'm too nervous to apply myself. Now I'm just going to try. I've got the best seat in the house. I've got to try and watch this. The guy was in the middle of sort of winning about 6 or 7 tournaments in a row. He crunched an iron into the second hole, slightly into the breeze, and the ball just was set off, tearing through the wind as the iron had tore through the turf. And familiar with that sound, it's just so sweet to any golf lover. And I just thought, I've just got to sit back and just watch this. And he didn't play his best that day because he was obviously feeling incredibly under pressure playing with me. But clearly I intimidated him. But
he shot a 74 that day.
I know.
You're good, Gerry.
Yours was 77.
You're good. If you'd only known what he'd shot in the best, you might have
What's that disease again called? Pity?
That was a good score that year, though, apparently.
Oh, no, really? It was. 78 was a bit par, I thought.
And this is actually an honest question / observation. I played with him a few times throughout the career. I've never learned from another individual playing golf as much as I did with Tiger. If nothing else, he inspired me to play better. Did you have the same feeling?
I think the thing was that you could actually talk to Tiger. There's some of the other guys you couldn't talk to. Some guys just didn't want to let you in. It was their little secret. They had it all boxed up, and they weren't interested in sharing it. I think Tiger actually DJ Tiger Tiger was he just felt that he was above everybody else, so it didn't really matter if he left off any sort of secrets to you. In any case, it wasn't going to make the slightest bit of difference.
Is he a much better person now, do you reckon, than he was?
But you asked me if he's a much better person.
Yes.
Not qualified to answer that question. I played the Fifth
we know.
Amendment.
I don't think we know. I don't think we know if he's a much better person. I think that what we've seen from him is a different side of him. Yeah. But what qualifies him to be a better person than what he was?
Yeah, it's different. I mean, clearly I just know him as the golfer. I don't know him. Never spent time with him off the golf course or anything like that. So I don't really know other than what.
No, I don't mean as he.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
More moral than he was, whatever. I'm not talking about that. But on the golf course, he does seem to have more time for the.
I think what's been really interesting and what's been a great thing for him is that he has been vice captains to a couple of President's Cups and things like that, Ryder Cups, and he has now learned to become more of a team player than the sort of individual that his father had helped sculpt him to be as a youngster. So I think as that he's much more of a rounded individual now in that regard. Yeah.
Cormac, who's the best player you've ever played with?
I've played with a few impressive players. I haven't played with that many really big names. Tomorrow's my first day out with a big name.
I know Paul's going to be on the first tee with you. That's going to be unbelievable.
A couple.
So another question. So ball striking wise, anybody? What player?
Romain Langasque is very good. Adri Arnos those two guys were probably when I played with them, I'm like, whoa, they can play.
So both players you've watched, observed, learned from.
Yeah, I played. I think I beat Romain on that day, but I was like, he just hit a lot of different shots, which was quite impressive. I think Adri Arnos is like raw power, pits it long. I think he'll do well as well. In terms of names that people maybe
these are new kids that you're definitely going to hear about.
Adri
Arnos.
He's
Spanish guy. I think he qualified at Valderrama for the Open, so he'll be there this week.
He did finish second.
He's supposedly the real deal from what we understand from his agent. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
We're nearly winding up. Are you all right for another 5 minutes or so?
I thought you were going to buy him another drink.
Anyone? This is the anyone. Swing thoughts. What are you thinking just before you...
How long have you got?
Just before, in inverted commas, pull the trigger. I didn't write this. What do you think just before?
Is the oven off? Did I walk the dogs? What did I pick it up? Dang it, I forgot to put gas in the car. What time am I supposed to pick my daughter from school? Oh, rat farts, I'm out of here. I think as we get older, as we get busier, I think the swing thoughts go mind-stakingly painful directions, but when I get out there, I try and keep everything very simple. I try and do 3 simple things. First of all, posture's got to get up. I'm getting old because he tells me I am. Which means when your posture gets down, that means my alignment gets too far left.
When does the bar close?
What?
Nothing.
Can you say that? I can't understand you when you're mumbling. You're Scottish. But they can't. Okay, I apologize.
Got it.
That's okay. So for me, it's posture and alignment more than anything else. And I think that if you ask any instructor, they would say it's the basics: posture, alignment. What else?
That's a hell of a lot more than
That's
that going
it.
through my head.
I mean, it's.
I would like to hear what Cormac thinks. At his age and stage, I'd like to hear what he thinks, because it'll be nothing like what you think.
Yeah. I mean,
Listen, he's a young man.
Absolutely.
He's thinking about a lot of things that I'm not thinking about anymore.
On the golf course, we're talking about.
That's.
I think like I'm gonna give a boring answer, but like for me, it's just trying to react to what's in front of me. Like react to the target. What that shot's telling me what it needs is just like my swing thought, I guess.
God, I wish I could go back to there.
Just think. One last question to you, Cormac, from Don McAvoy. Do you think you're...
Wait a second. Everybody's laughing.
Who's this?
Who's Don?
McAvoy.
Don is a member of the club here.
Okay.
There's a whole shield, right, which is 6 handicap.
Well, he's asking, do you think you're good enough now for the whole shield? The competition for 6 handicap.
So it's a 6 handicap and up,
Yeah.
and he didn't pick me because he didn't think I was good enough.
Oh, tremendous. So we can empathise.
My self-belief's got to be great.
where-
Where is Don?
We can have a wee drink
Andrew,
and
right
chat
here,
about that,
baby.
so,
You
yeah.
guys are all same.
We've
same
just
thing.
gone full circle.
Magnificent. It's not just me.
And just to show you how much he's a loser, you still support Queen of the South? Yeah?
Of course I do. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
oh, that's it.
You should be Queen of the South, no. But
Folks, look, it's been a fabulous evening. I think we've overstayed our welcome. As you know, a lot of the money that we're raising tonight, if you put your name on a note, it's all for the youth section, which is something that I know the guys would be very keen that we support in this club, and we do support it. Thank you so much for your attention tonight. Would you put your hands together and give a huge thank you to our 3 lads tonight?
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you.
thank you. Thanks very much. Thanks for coming.
Can we just finish up? The captain would like to say a few words just before we leave us.
Indeed, folks, a great insight, but events like this just don't happen. Gerry, many thanks for unselfishly acting, not for the first time, I might add, as the chat show host, and indeed for showcasing the club at every opportunity. Gerry, I think you're really getting the hang of things. You should do this for a living.
Thanks, lad.
Paul V, our Director of Golf, another coup for Ardglass. Paul, we're indebted to you. I have no doubt we will continue to benefit from all those air miles, both in reputation and financial terms. And tonight, Paul, it just epitomises. Thank you very much, Paul. To you, Andrew, I consider you now a new friend of Ardglass. Many thanks for taking time out of a very busy schedule to be with us. You are very welcome, and don't be a stranger.
Thank you, Mr. Gadd. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Turning to Mr. Beem. In 1969, a few American guys went for a dander on the moon. But a year later, a certain Richard Michael Beem was born, and this event turned out to be more important and beneficial to us in Ardglass. Rich, as we know him, went on to scale similar heights in the world of golf, culminating in his 2002 PGA Championship, beating someone called Woods. But more recently, over several years, Rich has played a major part in the worldwide meteoric rise of Ardglass Golf Club as a must-play course. You certainly helped us reach for the sky And I don't mean the remote control, Rich. Indeed, I think it's fair to say when Paul and Rich hook up, there is always at the end of it a major benefit to our club. We thank you for that. And in fact, Rich, tonight's just excellent and interesting event is just one example. Yes, words cannot express our gratitude, Rich, for the continued promotion and positioning of Ardglass Golf Club. But I feel more important is the friendship established with folk like yourself and Paul. Friendships I am sure will endure long after the studio lights have dimmed. Rich, on behalf of the entire club, we are indebted to you and wish you every success this week at the Open when it returns to Northern Ireland. Thank you very much, Rich.
I'm getting paid plenty to be here tonight.
And then there is our own Cormac. What can I say about your exploits in the Irish Open and other recent tournaments? You are not only competing so well, but the way you conduct yourself is a credit to your mum and dad, Paula and Lorne, and all of your family. Cormac, even though we often cannot be there as you travel the world of tournament golf, you know that everyone in this club is like an invisible hand helping you every step of the way. Cormac, good luck in your next tournament, and thanks for rearranging your schedule to be here, not just tonight, but indeed for the challenge in the morning as well. I think Paul is going to hold the bets, but it would be unfair and inappropriate for me to say who my money's on. By the way, Cormac, the next time I am captain, I will make sure Captain's Day is not the same date as you are playing in the Irish Open.
Is that on TV? Is that on TV? You're very selfish, man.
Folks, a big thank you to you for attending, and thanks to all of you for your generous donations to our junior section. It will go a long way in helping convener Michael continue to develop our young golfers, and indeed perhaps our next Cormac Sharvin. Finally, remember, folks, in golf, some want it to happen, some wish it would happen, others like Andrew, Rich, Cormac, and indeed our Director of Golf, Paul, make it happen. Good night, good luck, and safe home, everyone.